Good evening. I am Lashawn Warren, Chief Policy Officer at the Southern Poverty Law Center and a proud board member of the Center for Responsible Lending. I'm incredibly honored to be here this evening to launch the Julian Bond Institute for Financial Equity Research. But before I begin, I want to recognize the exceptional work of the Center for Responsible Lending under the leadership of Mike Calhoun. Their staff has done a magnificent job. And at a time when critical civil rights infrastructures are being dismantled almost daily, the Center's unwavering commitment to building a fair, just, and inclusive marketplace is more vital now than ever. I would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge our very own SPLC board member and the wife of Julian Bond, Pam Horowitz. She was one of the first lawyers hired by SPLC, and her commitment to protecting civil rights and combating hate in this country serves as an inspiration to us all. While many people today know SPLC for our work of exposing hate groups, we are first and foremost a civil rights organization. From our inception, SPLC was designed to ensure the achievements of the civil rights movement led to tangible and transformational change for Black and brown communities living in the South. We recognize that true equality doesn't just come with winning rights alone, but it comes from guaranteeing that those rights are enforced. Julian Bond understood this. He understood the tremendous opportunity that legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 offered people of color. But he also understood the harsh economic realities that the same communities continue to endure despite these monumental victories. While some tried to attribute widespread poverty afflicting people of color to a mix of social and economic circumstances, Julian Bond wasn't afraid to speak the truth as he saw it. In a speech he gave in 1969, he said, "For the Black poor, poverty exists simply and solely because of race. What Black and brown Americans needed," he said, "was economic development, investment in their communities, good-paying jobs, and a decent place to live." His experiences in the civil rights movement, coupled with this willingness to be frank about our societal shortcomings, made him a natural and ideal choice to lead SPLC. And so when Mr. Bond was presented with the opportunity to become the president of this new organization, he agreed to stand with us so long as we kept our eyes on the prize. It cannot be overstated how influential Julian Bond has been to setting our organization's strategic direction over the past half-century, both as president from 1971 to 1979, and his role on our board throughout the entirety of his life. Mr. Bond's unwavering commitment to rooting out racial injustice in all its forms continues to drive SPLC's programmatic work. We expose white supremacists and other hate groups with the same fearlessness that Mr. Bond exhibited throughout his life. We also tackle white supremacy in insidious ways that it creeps into our institutions and systems. That means fighting in the courts to preserve access to the ballot, pushing for a fair justice system, and advocating for economic solutions to eradicate poverty that continues to prevent Black communities across the Deep South from building wealth and attaining financial freedom. Mr. Bond once said, "The humanity of all Americans is diminished when any group is denied rights granted to others." He understood that justice is not an individual prize. It is a collective inheritance we must fight for together. Civil rights and economic rights are inseparable, and Mr. Bond devoted his life to building both. And Julian Bond knew something else. That is, real change is never a solo act. It demands collective strength. It reminds me of the great sequoias, the tallest trees in the world. Though they rise hundreds of feet into the sky, their roots are remarkably shallow. What keeps them standing through storms and time is their roots reach out and intertwine with each other. Their collective strength comes not from standing alone, but standing together and holding each other up. Julian Bond's life was a testament to that truth. He built movements, he built institutions, he built coalitions grounded in the belief that we are stronger, braver, and more enduring when we stand together. Today, when hostility to justice and democracy is once again raging, we must be like those sequoias, anchoring ourselves to one another and refusing to fall, refusing to bend. We must be disruptors of destruction, the builders, the stewards of the civil rights ideals Mr. Bond dedicated his life to protect. Mr. Bond showed us what moral leadership looks like when the cameras were rolling and when no one was watching. He showed us how to love justice more than comfort and to stand together when the winds of hatred blew the hardest. At SPLC, we take Mr. Bond's example to heart, and we are committed to working with organizations like the Center for Responsible Lending to stand up for equal justice, economic and financial needs of all communities. Mr. Bond's courage, vision, and moral clarity continue to light our path. He emerged as a leader in a time of crisis for this nation, and so it is fitting that this institute, appropriately named to honor his legacy, would emerge at a time when government is creating perpetual crises by dismantling civil rights, policies, and vital enforcement institutions that protect the financial well-being of all Americans. Indeed, the work of the Julian Bond Institute is needed now more than ever. And that is why SPLC is committed to supporting this work by pledging $5,000 today in support of this really incredible work. And we encourage others to do so as well. SPLC is just one part of Julian Bond's amazing story.